I was getting ready to go to sleep again, and then I started to think about the habits that I've been getting and just doing anything in my daily life. And this is a video meant for the people who have a problem sustaining like habits or have a problem keeping up with like doing things on a daily basis. Um, I just want it's more about perspective. This video was a lot about perspective and changing the way you view why you do things. And to be honest, this video is not complicated, and it's not meant to be complicated towards anybody who is watching this. What I do when I feel lazy to do something, and it might mean a lot more to me than it does to you, but for the people who have the same drive as me and the people who have the same mentality and have the hunger to do something, I ask myself this question when I don't have the urge to do anything. Like, let's say I get put to wash the dishes, or I have to wash a dish, and I really don't have the urge to. I ask myself, am I not willing? No, I ask myself this: how do I expect myself to become successful if I cannot do such of a simple execution of a task like washing the dishes? And I don't even know when I thought of this, because though it might seem so simple, it means so much to me, because it really shows if I'm not willing to do even the slightest bit of effort into some thing that is just meant to keep my hygiene and like just my life put together, how do I expect to become a person that is admired? How do I expect to become somebody who can grow, somebody who can be looked up to, if I can't do the simple thing as washing a dish or just anything? Like reading 10 pages a day, that's all it takes for you to begin to grow your knowledge. And that's all it takes. And if you're not willing to take that small of a step, how do you expect to become successful, or how do you expect to grow? And it's just small things like these. You have to ask yourself, how do I expect to receive what I want if I'm not willing to take the most minuscule task and accomplish it? You have to ask yourself that. And stop thinking of tasks as something you're forced to do. Start thinking of something that helps you build yourself as a person. Start using it as the little steps you take into making a better future for yourself. I don't doubt that being clean and like living a clean life, I mean, I'm not going to say that like, you have to live a clean life to be successful, but I think it's the thought that you can put yourself through the smallest of obstacles, but you still don't want to do it. And that's such a weird thought to me, because I know I used to think exactly the same, but then my perspective is totally changed after I started to ask myself this question. If I'm not willing to do such a small objective like that, or task like that, how do I expect to do anything in my life? How do you expect yourself to be the doctor? How do you expect yourself to be the lawyer? How do you expect to be an entrepreneur if you're not willing to do the smallest of tasks that is put in your way? You have to stop being lazy, and this is for all the lazy people and for all the people who cannot do things because they just don't have their life set. You have to, if you want to grow, if you want to prosper as a person and make your life more productive, you have to ask yourself this: if I want to be successful, or if I want to grow as a person, how can I expect to do that if I can't do such a little of a task that takes not even 5 minutes, not even 1 minute, depending on what it may be? It could be the smallest task. How do you expect to grow as a person and to become better if you can't do that one little task? You have to force yourself to do it and remind yourself on a daily basis, on a secondly basis, every single time you do something: if I can't do this, how do I expect to accomplish my goals? If I can't do such a small task, how do I expect to finish the bigger tasks in my life? How do I expect to do better in my life if I can't wash a dish? If I can't fold my bed? If I can't clean my clothes? If I can't fold my clothes? If I can't make time for myself? How do I expect to accomplish the goals in my life? That's all it is. It's things like building discipline in the most smallest aspects in your life that help you build character and help you grow into somebody who is capable of accomplishing bigger things. That's all this video is about. Taking those small steps, compounding them up for you to be able to grow the task, grow what you're doing into a bigger expansion of areas and expertise. You have to think to yourself, if I want to achieve my goal, how can I do that if I can't do as simple of a task? Just keep asking yourself that. What I ask myself specifically is, if I can't even wash this dish, how do I expect myself to become successful? Something so small, something so easy to do, and I'm not willing to do it, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing to myself if I allow myself to walk away from my dish, which I no longer have done. And it just changed my perspective, and I wanted to share it to anybody if this helps. And I hope you have a great night.